All right, it says we have started.
Did you reboot before we get started?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's no, okay. It went for a bit and then it's frozen again.
Is it better now?
Okay. Printer.
Yes. Is it working?
Connecting. Please wait.
Oh, I got a red light blinking. Is that it?
Got it.
Got it. It's the bot's working now. Yay. Okay, so I can minus that down. I can go to this other thing now. Schedule a stream. First time we've done a vert stream in a while. Let's see if we can get this to work.
That's weird. It is connected. It says I can see the printer, but it. Oh wait, there it goes. Okay, back. And then disconnected again. What the heck? Why does it keep dropping?
There we go. I think I got it fixed finally. Holy cow. It was kind of quiet here for New Year's. We didn't do a whole lot, you know, just I had an adult beverage and a midnight smooch. This is perhaps one of the most difficult things I've ever undertaken, and I've done wall hangings. So yeah, that kind of give you an idea. And I'm a little bit nervous. I went and prepared a bunch of string so that way I wouldn't have to stop and cut string here tonight. So these are the pieces that we'll be adding in. And yeah, tonight I am joined by my lovely wife, Mandy. And why does my camera seem like it's too low? Okay. There, slightly better. All right. Hello, Maria Cruz. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, when I left these off before, it was because I need to change the colors around or whatever, but I've discovered I can kind of advance this a little bit further along to make it just slightly easier for myself. So I'm going to do that right now. Oh, and Rara's here. Yay! Hello, Raras. Hello, everybody. Yeah, this is crazy difficult stuff here, guys. And the main reason it's so difficult is because I want each square to be different sets of colors. So that means as these strings came down, at some point they have to be replaced with something completely different. And barrage of changing colors. And yeah, if we had made it so that way the granny squares, the colors came down one after another in straight columns, this would not be difficult at all. In fact, this is a really easy pattern. So yeah, kind of crazy. Rara, that is awesome. Yeah, this would be such an easy pattern. I made the bracelet with it for this. It didn't take that terribly long. It was nice. I don't know why I feel the need to keep making things more difficult than ever. Hang on. Just trying to do a little knot down here at the end. Okay, so those inner ones all come down to there before anything gets changed up. And then it's this row here that I need to actually make changes. So yeah.
Music?
You can hear music? Huh?
Rainbow says she can hear music.
Oh. That's not good. Hang on. Let me see if I can figure out how to turn that down now. I can't for some reason get it to play in my headphones. It just absolutely refuses to play. I have no idea why. It's driving me
There always
insane.
sounds in your head anyway.
Wait, now it's. I know for a fact that's too loud. Hang on. Okay. Now it's ridiculously low. Hold on. All right, so now I got to pick out which sets of colors to do with this one. So all my strings are wound up on bobbins. So there's going to be this element throughout tonight where I'm going to be reaching across and getting the string prepared, which won't be the most glam look, but yeah, it's necessary to do what I'm doing. So what I basically did there is I put on half the knot, adding a string, and then completing the knot. So that sort of locks that bad boy right in there. Now I'm going to do that again with this one. I'm a graphic kind of something, but it beats the heck out of me trying to cut up string during the live stream. So I basically just spent the whole day today making up the little box full of all these different colored strings and stuff. Okay, so the middle one is this color. Standing still. How many strings in my brace? This is okay, so this is 24, but there's two more 24s that this is going to be joined to momentarily. And then I think there's like 8 of them. And I have no idea what 8 times 24 is.
$192.
Apparently it's 192. Says the little voice in my ears.
You'll be glad to know you're not in my...
The voice or the number? Or both? I think it'd be
Okay, it's
awesome.
still really light.
That would be kind of awesome if, like, somehow, like, I just automatically got answers to all my questions just by, like, talking out loud, like, just random. Okay, this is the third color, which is this much lighter pink. So it went from like a dark red to a mauve, I guess. Seems like I should study the color name, you know, like get to know all my colors. Once upon a time I tried. And I kind of got away from it. This should be a thing. So there we go. So all the colors that were in this one have now been replaced with the new colors that will be in the one that comes after it. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Slightly crazy. All right, so now I can bring down the one from the other side. The same thing, just go in the opposite direction.
Okay, so it's not just me.
Okay. Well, it's not the VPN. I've turned that off. I thought that was probably the problem, but I've turned that off, so I don't know what is happening. Okay, so now we're to the pink one.
Is YouTube giving you any, like...
No, it says I have an excellent connection.
So it's YouTube?
I don't know.
Because all of us are experiencing it, so it can't be internet.
Yeah, I have no idea. All right, so there's the red one going in. When I finish the knot, it basically locks it in place. I can go into the next one. And get another one out. This is the kind of the easier part of this. Just a second here, I will be adding on this diamond on with the ones that we did last week. There you go. So now I've got the dark red that'll replace this pink. So now take the pink, go over top of the blue, throw the dark red across so that way it goes inside of the knot. And then it's using the next color. Yeah, so it's not just, it's like a pinkish red, a mauve or something, I guess.
Okay, that was terrifying.
What was that?
The stream froze, and then when it came back, there was like a big hairy thing across the screen.
Okay, so there's the blue has been replaced. Get this red out of the way. Now put it over. And get my last color. I will try to keep my hairy arm out, although it doesn't seem possible. Guessing Rainbow's got them good headphones if she could hear the music playing. It's kind of impressive, actually. So now, like, the kicker is, and it shouldn't be too terrible, but the kicker is, as I do get to the next square, I have to make sure D, or the airplane that got me here. So my favorite flowers of Singapore, an hourglass, and the semicolon with a lotus thing. All right. So this is what we accomplished last week. So the key now is to try to put those two things together. So, and the best way I found to do this is by having more than one clip. So that way I can kind of place these things together. And yeah, if you try to fit under one clip, it's a little, doesn't work as well. All right. Yeah, this is definitely looking pretty cool. Yeah, it's going to be a bag. And I don't know if you can tell, but like I'm going over the strings that have been doubled over here, helping to kind of lock those ends in, because at some point I will be trimming them all off, and I don't want it to come off like in a wash or something. So yeah. Not quite sure where I trimmed it off when I joined this one together, but at some point I'll figure it out. Yeah, the machine wash them. Because when I do these ends the way I do, I make it so that way they're not coming apart.
They're not?
Yeesh. The knots are not coming apart. For example, it was locked in, this darker color here was locked in when I did this first knot. I'm going over that knot again with this gray. That's going to help keep that thing from coming undone. But I'm going to do it a few more times just to make absolutely sure. Now, when I'm doing the knot,
Half of what you say is disappearing in the chat, in the lag.
is it? That's terrible.
If it coincides with the lag, then
Right. According to Google, we have excellent connections. I don't understand why there would be any lag. Oh, okay. So when I'm tying the knots across where there's two strings, I'm making sure to tie it extra tight to try to conceal the fact that it's going over two strings. I feel bad. I wish I knew how to make the stream go by smoother. I don't know what's wrong. Trying to see if there's anything else I can close to make it. I closed Spotify since I have it playing on the speaker next to me. I don't have to have it open on the computer. I don't know if that'll help at all, but I'm willing to try. So the outer color makes a whole big box going around the whole outside of the granny square, which I think is kind of cool. And then that same color is like the little inner square.
How about switching off the virtual cam?
Can. Anything is worth trying at this point. So yeah, this will be a bag when it's all said and done. And the loops up here at the top will be like, I'll have like a rope that goes through it that makes it so that way it kind of drawstrings closed. Kind of like the little orange bag I made. Did anybody see that on Instagram? I recently posted I made an orange bag for a friend of mine. Well, he commissioned it. Oh, thank you, Rainbow. Yeah, I really like how that one turned out. It's a really cool little bag. Yeah, I'm kind of really convinced that I was right in not doing the squares with a black thread and going with a gray instead. I think black would have just been too dark for this whole thing. And so now I'm locking down the strings that were added to replace these ones. Yeah, this whole thing is just really super complicated. At some point here, I'm going to have to get some scissors out and cut off some of the strings when they get done, like this one that's coming up. So yeah, so I'm done with that green one. So I can leave that out and just come across. Yeah, I don't use Bracelet Book at all. I have played around a bit with friendshipbracelets.net, but I never added any patterns there because the first pattern I tried to, it canceled. It was like, nope, like failed after spending, I don't know how long trying to make the thing work. It failed. And so I was just like, I'm not learning how to do this on a different platform when I already have my own way of doing my own patterns and doing stuff. So yeah, I kind of failed on the idea of actually like posting patterns other than over on AKAAWOL.com. But yeah, there's a lot of patterns over there. In fact, there's a whole section dedicated to it, and there's an area where you can see like a bit of a portfolio of things that I've made. It's not everything I've ever made because like some patterns I kind of reuse the pattern but with like different colors, so I didn't like really add all of those. I definitely like how this is turning out. So is the lag still happening, or did we cure it somehow?
Nope, it's still happening.
It can't be because I'm using a different browser, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the centers here, I'm making it where it leaves a little hole. So you'll see that here in just a second. Basically, I go over the gray, change the corner at this burgundy, go back over the gray, instead of having the gray do the in the middle square, and then back to this other rusty color. And that just leaves a little hole right in the middle of it, which I think makes it look more like a granny square. Why is the thing acting so weird?
Everything's acting weird. The printer doesn't want to connect. You had a subscriber and the bot's been trying to print something, but it won't connect.
Let's see if I. Printer's still refusing. I just tried to reboot it, thinking maybe that would make it work, but no. Nothing's coming out
Nope,
over here.
not connecting. Now I can't even see it. Earlier you could see it, it just wasn't connecting.
Right.
Now I can't see it.
That's so weird.
Agreed.
All right. Now, so what you might be able to make out that I'm doing right there is I'm dropping off those other strings that are no longer needed. There's plenty of knots to hold them from coming apart. So this is, let's just leave that there. All right, now I can turn this around. Oh. I can snip these bits off. Being very cautious, of course, to make sure that I'm not cutting strings that I need, because that would ruin this whole project. And yeah, don't want that. All right. So now we've got 3 of these things joined. So it's 24 times 3, 75 minus a couple. Minus 3, so 72. So there's 72 strings so far of it. Looks pretty cool. I like it. So basically, I'm going to put these on a hook and hang it up for a second while I get the next one down. All right. And I've got a little mess going on over here with bobbins and everything else. Let me just tidy this up a bit so I can get ready for the next round. Are we still doing the lag thing? I don't. My CPU is like 41% up to like 47. So it can't be like that.
It seems to have been okay for a bit.
Okay, Betty. I like your name, but thank you.
You just saw it?
The name?
I was
Yeah.
I was saying that earlier.
Right. Well, I'm looking up at the screen every periodically. I don't see it buffering, but I'm busy trying to tie knots, so I don't really see it much. Nickname from high school. So wait, were you? Wait, was your high school days back in the mid to late 80s? Mid 80s, I would say, because that's when the whole California speak thing was going on. There was even a song, "Bitch and Camaro." Graduated 85, same as me. Gnarly for sure.
You're showing your age, honey.
I'm afraid I think I do that a lot. Where am I gonna go? All right.
Oh no! That girl.
What is she is definitely too young to be smoking. What is that puppy thinking? All right, now we start changing colors again. So this is a purple mixture over here, so I don't want to do that again. So these are the choices that I have. I could do these blues. That would be very different. I could do this. Yeah. Yeah, it's got a purple in it. Oh. Yeah, I guess I'm going to do the blue ones. There's our first one. Now the medium color, which is a little bit darker blue. And now the dark blue. Well, darker. All right. So like I was saying, this is the most difficult bag to date. And I did some crazy ones with lots of maze-like things going on in it. But it's this constant changing up colors, and yeah, it's making it a lot more difficult. Yeah, the tricky part here is getting all these other strings added in and trying to make it blend so as if nothing had happened. When something totally is happening, we are totally doubling the strings. How do you know where to tie the new colors, light or dark? Oh, okay. So there's basically three colors in each of these ones, right? The color, the outer one is also the one that's in the center, and then these other two that are inside of it. So I know that this yellow is, oh, that's why that other one was turned around funny. Huh. I might have done these blues in the wrong order, but that's okay as long as I'm consistent. It's based off of these here. I think I just made it with a light on the outside and then the dark, and then this one is in the, I don't know. Trying to get my brain to wrap around this stuff is crazy. But yeah, the key is consistency, and looking at where all these things are kind of helps. I have a pattern open from my webpage, so if I need to look, I can look at it, but at this point, it's not helping me much. So this goes this way. This goes this way. This goes here. This goes over. Am I going to be mad about this? It can be light blue and then a dark, then a medium. Yeah. Kind of explains why that tan one seemed weird. Yeah. Yeah, as long as you're consistent, it doesn't matter. If I mix them up, then I'm going to have a real problem. Then the things won't come together like they're supposed to. Yeah, so basically I just assured that the next time I do the space here, it's going to go light blue, dark blue, medium in the circle, which is probably not how I originally envisioned it, but it's not the end of the world either. So now it's time to join these together. So it didn't take long before this thing started getting really wide. So yeah, I had put this whole thing up to as a poll on my community tab to see which one to work on next, and this was the pattern that got the most votes. I was actually kind of looking forward to the I'm doing this thing where it's interlocking Ys. It's sort of like Qbert, the whole little square things, but different. It's really kind of trippy. I thought that was going to be the one that everybody was going to vote for, but nope, everybody voted for this instead. It'll actually make that other pattern seem like a vacation once this is done, so. I don't know why, but before starting this, I really honestly thought we'd be kind of flying through, like these things would just kind of join together so easily. That does not seem to be the case at all. It's taking a lot of time to get it done. Mind you, I could probably slow it down just a bit so I could concentrate on making sure that I'm not making mistakes, like getting colors in the wrong order. I'm just excited though. It looks cool. It's pretty neat. Pretty sure that nobody's ever tried this one before. Mostly because it's kind of crazy. I don't think anybody would want to do this. Plus, it burns through an awful lot of floss. Do that. So I have these three colors also in the box to go in. So I need to make sure that when I like put those in, that's kind of far away from where this is. Because I'm trying not to have squares looking close to the same next to each other, especially. Kind of goes against the whole nature of trying to move things around and change up all the colors if you're just going to end up going in with the same exact ones. It's kind of defeats the purpose. It gets so confusing when the strings are grouped together in big bunches. It's so not the normal thing that gets done, and trying to make sure to navigate it and not get the groupings wrong stuff is it's something. Cool. I'm trying to change out the colors to have a bunch of contrast and make it very different. Will definitely help with that. So here's two colors. One of them is being kept, the other one's going. I can see that that red is on the color that was over here. So it's obviously it's the light blue that stays. So the crazy part is the technique I'm using to change out the strings is basically the same thing I would do if we were going really, really long and the strings were getting too short to use. That's why I would normally swap out. The fact that we're swapping out perfectly good long strings is all about making the colors change so that way it looks like a bunch of just random squares that somebody used, maybe like their scrap yarn, to make the granny squares and put it all together into a thing. That's the general look I was trying to go for. I've been keeping all these ends hanging off of my desk here to try to make sure that I keep the geckos from getting a hold of any of it, because I didn't want the strings all tangled up. I don't know what I'm going to do now that we've got this big chunk here. This dark red is the new one. Cool. So we got the puzzle game coming up here shortly. Another 8 minutes or so. If you're watching on the vertical stream, you might want to switch over to the horizontal, because that's where all the fun is. Essentially, I will get all these things joined all the way across and then get the two ends joined before I start adding on to any of these secondary ones. That's the plan. I have really mixed feelings about the idea of selling this bag, knowing how hard it is to do, and knowing that the price tag wouldn't reflect the amount of work, or at least a price tag that would get it sold wouldn't reflect the amount of work that went into it. Kind of makes me think that maybe what I want to do is make it Mandy sized, so that way it just has a home already. If I make it too big, she'll hate it. She'll never use it. What would you tell him, Rainbow? Heck yeah, for $1 billion. Somebody's calling me a knot god over on the vertical. Thank you. It's been good. Been really good. Enjoying the new year. How are you doing? Trying to line up the strings that get knotted to versus the ones that get dropped. That's unfortunate. All right. The back of this thing is like kind of creepy looking, actually. So yeah, today's pattern is supposed to look like granny squares. I'll stitch together to make a bag, and the problem with that is I'm making it so that way it's going to change colors as it goes along, which makes it really super difficult. And Yeah, but kind of exciting at the same time. So, you should come over and join the horizontal one, because then you could help with the puzzle game. Because I'm about to take a break, and that's what we do around here when I take the break. It's kind of the halfway point of the night. Yeah, a second.
It's puzzle time.
Where is my bot thing for this? There it is. Puzzle game, start game. And You guys did it. I never lost faith in you at
Wow.
all. That might have been the longest puzzle game we've ever had, though. That's awesome. Mandy with the lead, 13. That's nice. Good job, sweetheart. Uh, Trying to see if there's a volume control on the thing. I like the song that's playing, but I can't hear it. So this time I'm going to try to make sure I don't make the same mistake I made in the last one when it comes to adding the different colors. I tell you, this whole thing is just the most difficult thing I've ever done. I'd much rather be working on the big project you know, with all of its hugeness and everything. At least it was straightforward, little simple patterns. Well, simple-ish. They became simple. I got used to them. I wish there was an easier way of just adding in all these strings. There really isn't. This really is the easiest thing I can do, but it still seems like an awful lot of work. The latest one is the furthest in. Got it. Coming out. Look at that. Just getting it wrong once was all it took to embed in my mind to pay better attention to what I'm doing and do it right. And there it goes. We've got the right sequence now. Oh, so basically, for the YouTube members, the last couple weeks I have taken off and haven't done any live streaming or anything really over there. But that all changes this week. I am back to work. So if you're kind of curious about what goes on to making the videos or want to chat with me while I'm actually tying the knots of the bracelets for the patterns that I'm creating, I will be back to that. And that's something available to YouTube members. So. Yeah. Okay. Here we are again. The latest one now gets strings. Gets the dark one. So the dark one goes off to the left. The bright yellow one that stays underneath this goes to the right. And not. Perfect. Next. Over the screen. This goes this away. All right. Got that all together. Now, join it to the rest of the pack. I was like, hang on. I'm struggling to see what I'm doing here. What is wrong? Oh, yeah. I have glasses that make it easier to see. Is it really doing that again? I see bars on my side. It looks like I'm recording. I don't know.
Seems okay.
Pratt, I tried to imagine what would be the gibberish of bad audio. I'm not very good at that. Sadly, I've not seen all the episodes of The Office, and I really feel like I would have enjoyed the whole series. Yeah, going over the the strings where there's two really takes a little extra concentration to make sure I'm getting it over the correct pairs. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Will Ferrell. I didn't know that he was in it, but I'm not a fan of his.
I didn't know that James Spader was in The Office.
I know the name. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
James Spader?
Yeah.
You probably remember him from Sliders?
From where?
Sliders.
Which one was he then?
Oh, sorry, no, not Sliders. Oh wait, it is Sliders. No. No, not Sliders. The other one. Stargate. Sorry.
I didn't really watch Stargate.
Really?
Yeah. I told you, I knew the guy who made the role play game that was Stargate.
Yes,
And
yes.
they used this guy's game to make up their whole movie and everything. And somebody from Hollywood sent him a letter, said, he couldn't name whatever, but yeah. Oh, Pretty in Pink guy, yes. Right.
Yeah. We had a fish named after his character.
Right. I remember the show you used to watch.
He was Mr. Reddington.
Okay, Google volume 25%. I don't know how I got away with having the music on last week, the mic not picking it up, and how it's trying to do it this week. Yeah, Mandy was hooked on that. Right. Well, I can see right now that there's no bars when I'm not talking. I'll have to. I want to get them back to where the music plays in my headphones. I have no idea what happened, but now it won't play the music in my headphones. From the computer, that is. Oh, so anybody interested in my schedule, it is posted on the community tab. You can go over there and take a look. Pretty standard. Oh, and we have the hangout is tomorrow. The first Sunday of the month is the hangout for all the YouTube members and anybody from over on Patreon. Patreon, by the way, is coming to an end after having had Patreon for a couple of years now. It's just, I used to make videos specifically for them, and that became kind of hard to do with the schedule of doing a lot of live streams and stuff. And it just got really too difficult to try having all these platforms where different people get benefits, and it's just so much easier with the way my work is set up to be able to give patterns early via YouTube, member streams. Plus, you get the smiley faces, and you get all the other cool little stuff. So like, it's just honestly easier. The payout for me isn't as much, but overall, it's just a better experience for the people who want to support the channel. So. That's right. I should have gotten dropped. Something looks wrong here. Oh, this is so weird. So the box that we're replacing these colors with has a very similar light blue to what's in this box, which is just making it harder for me to wrap my head around what's going on over here. So yeah. It's supposed to look like granny squares. That's what I'm calling it. That's when I first saw the pattern. That was where my mind went. I thought of it looked like granny squares. Have a good one, Rara. I'm not going to be streaming too much longer because I don't think there's time to get a whole nother square in on this, and I don't want to leave this off in a bad spot. It's kind of be a whole lot easier if I stay consistent. But next week it'll be probably all joined and everything. It's hard to imagine. Yeah, I don't like the idea of leaving like one halfway done when it's as complicated as this is. It's just even the thought of it is just terrorizing me. So this light blue and the light blue that's going to go into this other thing are definitely going to be a problem for me later on because the similarity is really close. And I just know that I'm going to hate myself for it. But I didn't see it when I was picking the colors, so. It is what it is. Anybody have any questions? Because I'm afraid I don't have enough time to actually get another diamond put on here. Because it seems to take about 45 minutes or so. Yeah. I hold my breath when I cut this with the scissors. I get a little worried. But so far everything's coming together really good, so you know. Colors are lining up and tiles are being made. It's not bad. Let's pull this off so I can scooch it over a bit. So yeah, I think it looks cool. So that's 5 loops out of the 8. So we got 3 more to go. It'll make a decent sized bag. It'll hold phones. The only question I have is how far down will it need to come to be practical, and how many more diamonds does it do? Oh, thank you, Rainbow. Yeah, I know Mandy tends to like small bags, so that's something kinda that agrees with me. But I imagine it's got to be at least a ways. I don't know. What do you think, honey? Can you guess how many diamonds downwards? Mind you, anything greater than 2 requires lots of work. Just saying. And so now I need to replace the ones that we've taken out of here. And yeah, I can work on that this week, along with all the other things. So yeah. I thought I had a button for the schedule. I guess I don't. I need one. Hang on, let me write that down. Okay. Hang on. Let's see if I can manually do it. Huh. I don't even see it any longer. Weird. All right. Well, forget that then. Yeah, changing colors every couple stitches, that would suck. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Before I go, I want to thank all my YouTube members who make this stuff possible. And yeah, you guys have definitely helped me stay in floss, which is a big thing these days. I'm actually kind of struggling with some of the pattern choices and stuff that I'm doing because of the fact that if I need doubles and triples and whatever of the strings, I might not necessarily have enough of those. So I'm kind of looking at the possibility that a new string order is going to be not too far around the corner. So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, thanks a lot. And yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.